Just back from a run, nice work. And now you're looking for a nice stretch that you can do, which works on all the muscle groups. And you have the option of keeping your trainers on or kicking them off and doing this practice at home. We are going to start standing. So find a nice comfortable standing position. You can keep your feet about hip width distance apart or maybe a bit wider, whatever feels comfortable for you, and just transfer the weight evenly across the feet. We'll take a moment just to check in with ourselves and notice your pattern of breathing. Maybe it's a bit more rapid if you've just finished a run. So we'll take a moment to breathe in and out. And we'll start to roll through the shoulders one way and the other way, keeping the chest nice and open. And then we'll inhale to lift the arms all the way up and overhead, reaching through the fingers, through the arms, keeping nice and lengthened in the spine. We'll start to engage through the glutes, so squeezing them together and then pressing the hips forwards and looking up. Gentle back bend here. Exhale back to the center. We'll take the arms out to the side to form a nice T shape. And then we'll start to look over to the right side, keeping the arms nice and level if you can, and the feet pointing forwards. Exhale back to the center, and we'll take it to the other side. Checking in, making sure those arms are nice and level. And back to the center. We'll reach the arms all the way up and overhead once more. And this time we'll take a bend through the right elbow, place the palm of the right hand in between the shoulder blades, and see if you can send the left hand around to reach into a bind. So maybe you can bind the fingers together here, or if not, you can just rest the hands wherever they kind of go, or alternatively, take a hold of the fabric of your top. So wherever you are, we're going to hold it here for a moment. See if you can really point that right elbow up towards the sky, intensifying the stretch for your shoulder. Inhale and exhale, we'll gently release. Lift the arms all the way up, really reaching, and this time taking a bend through the left elbow and reaching around with the right hand, noticing any difference on this side, and then actively pointing the left elbow up towards the sky to intensify, getting the most out of this stretch. Inhale, exhale to release. We'll lift the arms all the way up, gently engage the glutes to come into our back bend, pressing the hips forwards. And this time we're going to exhale to fold down, taking a nice generous bend through the knees if you need to, pressing your tummy into your thighs. And you can take a hold of your ankles or rest your hands on your trainers, or you can place your hands on the ground or the mat, letting the head fall nice and heavy, feeling the backs of the legs firing up. Inhale, exhale. And on your next breath in, we'll start to straighten through the legs and stack the vertebrae one on top of the other, reaching the arms up and overhead. We'll bring the hands down by our sides now. Transfer our weight onto the left leg and start to lift the right toes off the mat and hug the right knee in towards the body. We're going to prepare for a spinal twist. So with our left hand, we're going to place this on the outside edge of the right knee and see if you can extend the right hand out behind you as you twist your gaze and your body to the right side. Good. Inhale and exhale to come back to the center. Wobbling is completely normal, just finding your balance if you can. And then we're going to place our hands on our hips and take some hip circles. So lubricating the hip joints, taking the right knee out to the side and back around. Doing a couple more just like this and reversing the direction. Good. Coming back to center. And then we're going to extend the right leg and place the heel gently on the ground, keeping the leg fairly straight and the hands on the hips. And we'll hinge from the hips over the right toes, coming into a nice stretch here. So you should be able to feel the stretch traveling up the back of the legs, the hamstrings. Holding for one more breath. And inhale to gently and slowly come back up to standing. We're going to lift the right toes up off the mat again and send them behind us this time, coming into a quad stretch, taking a hold of the right foot with the hand and pressing the right heel in towards your glutes. Pointing the right knee down towards the mat or the ground. Good. Option to stay here for a few more breaths, or you can switch the grip so you're taking hold of the big toe edge of your right foot and see if you can press your foot into your hand, coming into a dancer's pose. Be lifting the left hand up, holding here, and exhale to gently release. We've just got one more pose before we can set that right heel down. We're going to cross the right ankle just above the left knee, coming into a standing pigeon variation. So you want to press the right knee out and then see if you can bend through the left leg, the left knee, and set the hips back as though you're sitting in a chair. That might be enough for your hips today, or if you want to take it further, you can start to hinge from the hips and reach the hands forwards towards the ground until you find that lovely juicy stretch in your hip flexors. Good. Taking a breath wherever you are. And then we'll inhale to stand all the way up and shake out the legs before we come into the other side. All right. So this time, transferring our weight onto our right foot and lifting the left leg up, squeezing the thigh in towards the body, and we'll place the right hand on the outside edge of the left knee and extend the left hand out behind us, spinal twist. Inhale and exhale back to center, hands on the hips, taking your hip circles out to the side and around. And reversing. Lubricating the hip joints. Back to center, we'll extend the left leg and place the heel just gently on the ground in front of us, and then start to hinge forwards from the hips. Hamstring stretch. And on your next breath in, place the hands on the hips and lift the body all the way up. We'll send the left heel behind us, coming into our quad stretch, taking hold of the little toe edge of the foot, squeezing the heel in towards the bum. Good. Option to hold here, or if you'd like to come into your dancer pose, we can take hold of the big toe edge of the foot, press the foot into the hand, and lift the right hand up for full expression. Inhale, exhale to gently release, and if you can, coming into our final standing pigeon pose. So we'll cross the left ankle above the right knee, press the left knee out to the side, and see if we can start to bend through the right knee. Set the hips back. Checking in, this might be enough. If you'd like to take it a little bit further, hinging forward, reaching the hands down towards the ground or the mat. Amazing stretch, either before or after a run. And inhale to come all the way back up, hands on the hips, and we can shake our legs out. Good. We're going to take the stance of the feet nice and wide now. Toes are pointing forwards, and then we'll hinge from the hips, keeping our spine nice and lengthened. Slowly hinging all the way down, finding our wide-legged forward fold. You can lightly place the hands on the ground or the mat. You don't have to touch the ground if you don't want to. Finding your forward fold here and really being engaged through the legs. Good. We'll start to turn our right toes towards the right and our left toes towards the right. So the feet are now pointing one behind the other. You can sort of shuffle the left foot in a little bit closer to narrow the stance, coming into our pyramid pose. So this is a great stretch for our hamstrings. And you should be able to feel this one in the legs already. The front leg doesn't have to be perfectly straight. You can keep a little micro or maybe a little bit of a bend in the front knee. Whatever feels good and supported for your body. You should be able to feel this in your hamstrings. Taking one last breath here, inhale. Exhale, you can use the hands to help you swivel the feet back to your wide-legged forward fold, and we'll just widen the stance and take a stretch here. And then we'll swivel the toes around to the left. So shifting that back foot in a little bit closer to narrow the stance. And we'll take our pyramid pose from here. You should feel into it quite quickly. Stretching out the legs after your run today. Good. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to make our way back to center. And this time we're going to take our hands to our hips, hinge all the way back up, and then point the toes about a 45-degree angle away from each other. If you're on a mat, pointing them to the corner edges of the mat. And then we'll start to bend through the knees as we set the hips down, coming into our goddess pose. It's a really strong pose for the legs. So you want to be actively pressing and rolling the thighs away from each other for full engagement here. Good. We'll take the hands to the knees, and then we're going to press into the right hand and drop the right shoulder down. So we press into the left hand and look over the left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale back to the center, and then we'll drop the left shoulder down, press into the right knee, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, exhale back to the center. We'll take our hands to our hips, straighten out through the legs. Just going to heel toe the feet in a little bit closer, about shoulder width distance apart, so we can prepare for our final pose, which is our malasana, our squat. So we're going to start to bend through the knees once more with this slightly narrower stance and set the hips back. And you might find that it's easier for your body to come up onto your toes, or you can keep your feet flat. It just depends on your own body and your own mobility. Either is absolutely fine. So once you've set the hips down as far as they will go, finding your squat. And it's always quite nice to find some little movements here, just finding what feels good for the body. I like to sway my knees and sway my hips. I also like to place my arms on the insides of my knees just to encourage them to open a little more, just to stretch out the hips. And there we have it. So post-run stretch. Let me know how you found it in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you, and I also look forward to seeing you in the next video.